the business model. So here a company when it starts, okay, it follows one or the other some business model. Now we all know that basic aim of the model is basic aim of the business is to gain the profits, to derive the profits, and hence company banks upon some type of business model. Now today if we see most of the companies, they also have adapted the internet based models to perform the business. So maybe the pandemic situation had made it compulsory, or the to add the competitive strength or competitive advantage to the organization, companies come up with the various types of business model. A business model is a company's method of deriving profits in the existing business scenario or existing business environment. Now here it includes the key structural and operational characteristics of a firm, how it earns the profits. Now when we speak about the structural and operational characteristics, it means that how it reaches the end customers. Now here if you take an example of Amazon, so Amazon clubs the backend linkages and forward linkages to reach to the customers. The customers is in connect with the company through the online portal. Okay, the customer has a look at the web portal and places the order, but the responsibility lies on the vendor here to make available the goods at the customer's doorstep. And this includes many processes or many steps at the backend process. There are various suppliers, there are various vendors who are in connection with the company. And if you consider the forward linkages, there are many logistic based companies, the warehouses in the supply chain of the company, and at the end, with the help of all these partners, the company tries to reach the customers, that is makes the product available to the customers. Now a business model usually is composed of 5 elements, like who it serves. Who it serves means what is the market for that company, whether it is satisfying the needs of the kid segment, whether it is into the automobile segment, whether it is into the pharmaceutical industry. So here, what is the basic purpose it is serving, the company is serving? That is the first and foremost thing. Second thing is what it provides, whether it is a service provider, whether it is provides a product, whether it provides some entertainment to the customer, whether it provides experience to the customer. So here, if we think of from the perspective of product, maybe any FMCG category, consumable goods, one can think of. The consumable products are offered to the customers. They are consumed by the customers on a regular basis. There are also durable products which the company provides, where the shelf life of the product is long. Similarly, the company is providing services, maybe tours and travel operators. The strategies, now why we are taking these aspects, because the strategies change according to the type or the category of the product or the services. If it is into entertainment industry, it is providing some entertainment to the customers. So the strategy or the modus operandi of the company depends upon the type of product and the customers. How the company thinks of achieving the profits. So here, if you remember that we had spoke about the competitive advantages, how it differentiates and sustains the competitive advantage. That is gaining the profits by differentiation strategy or by gaining a competitive advantage. Specifically, if you see in automobile company, there is cutthroat competition. So here, the company which tries to differentiate itself on the basis of one or the other characteristic features is going to attract the customers and derive profits by embarking upon that particular feature. Here, in case of services also, if the service provider tries to differentiate themselves by value addition to those services, it ultimately differentiates that service provider and uh, the company gains a competitive advantage in this era of cutthroat competition. Now, how the company provides the products or services is also important. Whether it integrates all the aspects of businesses, whether it banks upon a single criteria, whether the company thinks of outsourcing few of the processes to other companies, or the company is capable enough to take care of all of the processes of the businesses. Now, it depends upon the company how best it can perform to reach to the end customers and make them happy or delighted. Ultimately, a satisfied customer will spread a positive word of mouth publicity. And this is one of the important base of sustaining in the market. Now, because of the online marketing or social media, people are connected to each other, and within a fraction of seconds, the information passes from masses. Hence, it has become more important for the companies to market the reliable products in terms of its performance or satisfaction. The company today cannot just fool the customers or just place the false promises. Now, there are the types of business models which the companies can think of inculcating to survive the businesses in this competitive era and also to make the profits by reaching the customers. Now, the basic mantra for business model is to provide a better service, a good quality product, or a better service which can be sold so that the profits derived are more as compared to the cost and expenditure. So any businesses, it works on this theme. If there are profits, then only the businesses will survive. Otherwise, they will not survive. Now, the first is the customer solutions model. Now, if we take an example, we can take an example of IBM here, which uses the model to make profits, not by selling the IBM products, but by selling its expertise to improve customers' operations. Now, here IBM provides the consultancy to the customers with its products. So, this is value added part which is offered to the customers. we can also say that this is a consulting model where the customer not only seeks the product, but the consultancy is also expected and offered. Now, this is the value addition from the customer's point of view, which the company is providing. There is a possibility that many of the customers they may not be aware about the technical glitches in particular product, and hence the company tries to simplify it by offering the consultancy framework and tries to build the profits based upon this foundation. So with the product, even uh, the customer is given some solutions also, so that the operative part becomes more convenient for the customers. Now, profit pyramid model. Uh, now, here, the key is to get the customers to buy a product at the low price, low margin entry point, like Saturn's basic sedans, and move them up to a high priced, high margin products where the company can make its money. Even Geo, when it entered, it came with the low pricing. It made the customers to switch from the competitors, and then slowly and steadily they started, once established, once gained the market share, they start increasing the prices with a small difference, which maybe the customers, for the customers it's not, uh, the amount is not that huge, okay, but over a period of time the gap may be more. So General Motors offers a full line of automobiles here in order to close out any niches where a competitor might find a position. So deriving the profits initially by lowering the cost, entering into the market with the low price, penetrating into the market, grabbing the market share. Usually, this is the scenario in the market where there are more competitors, where the company finds it difficult to reach to the customers. Hence, the company adopts the option of decreasing the price initially by penetrating the market, grabbing the market share, and then slowly and steadily increasing the price. As initially the price is slashed, the it helps to attract the competitors' customers very easily, and many of the companies follow this model. Multi-component system or uh, installed base model. Now here, uh, the product is a system, not just one product with one component providing most of the profits. So when the company offers the multi-component, then we say it's a multi-component based models. Like HP, if we take, it does it with printers or printer cartridges. Here the company thinks of selling the goods at a break-even pricing in order to make more profits or to get higher margins on the returns. Now, initially, when the company is in the growth stage, and for the company, it is possible to offer a price where the break-even pricing is considered. For at that phase only, this option or this model is possible. Advertising model. Now, this model offers its basic product free in order to make money on advertising. Now, basically originated in the newspaper industry, this model is used heavily in commercial radio and television. For example, internet-based firm like Google, if we see, it gives free information to the users and gives the revenue by having the advertisements placed on its websites. So here the company gains the revenues by just focusing on the advertisements, and that is one of the source of revenue collection. Apart from having an aggregation with the other businesses, the switchboard model. In this model, the firm acts as a bridge to connect to multiple sellers and multiple buyers. So one can say that it is an intermediary or an interface between a group of sellers and a group of buyers. Now, if we take again the example of Amazon or eBay, where the company acts as a interface between many sellers and many users. So this is one platform where both of them can come together and try to meet their needs by the process of exchange. That is the switchboard model. The next is the time model. That is the product research and development and speed, which are the keys in this time model. The company always wants to be a pioneer. It uh, it invests into research and development and tries to offer the best possible option to the customers. Like Sony was a pioneer in terms of offering the technology driven products. We are usually, when the company thinks of adopting this time model, it banks upon its quality, its innovation, and tries to differentiate on this aspect and try to gain profits, derive the profits. The efficiency model. In this model, the company thinks of entering the business where the products become standardized, and then it enters the market with the low price, low margin, and appeals to the masses. Here the example is of Walmart, where it banks upon the low price or low margin products. Now, when the company operates on a very large scale, then only it's possible for the company to slash down the prices. When the company thinks of banking on the low priced products, the economies of the scale should be met here. Now, coming to the blockbuster model, the profit is driven by few key products where there is the high investments in few products with high potential payoffs. Maybe one can think of having the companies or like pharmaceuticals where the company invests hugely and the R&D or the formula could be patented. The company has the patents with reference to particular key features. Now, profit multiplier model. The idea of this model is to develop a concept that may or may not make money on its own, but through synergy of many profitable products. Like here, one can take an example of a Walt Disney, which invented the concept by using cartoon characteristics to develop high theme parks, merchandise, and licensing opportunities. Entrepreneurial model. Here, the company offers specialized products or services to market the niches that are too small to be worthwhile to large competitors, but they have the potential to grow quickly. The startup firms or the small high-tech firms which develop innovative products come into this category. The de facto industry standard model. Now here the company offers products free or at a very low price in order to saturate the market and become the industry standard. If once the users are used to buying the product, the company offers higher margin products using this standard. Now, like Microsoft packaged the Internet Explorer free with its Windows software in order to take the market share from Netscape's web browser. So it depends upon the company which type of business model it will follow and when to change a particular business model. Now today, since it's an era of internet and the businesses have also adapted successfully the e-commerce in their day-to-day routine business, and pandemic has made it mandatory for many of the businesses or forced because of the situations to adapt the e-commerce business models. Now B2b business model is a website which includes the business to business model, sell the products to an intermediate buyer who then sells the product to the final customers. Here a wholesaler can place an order to the company's websites from the company's websites and sell it to the final customers, to the retailers. So here the businesses can sell to many vendors, the products to many vendors who in turn pass on the goods to the end customers in this B2B business model. When it comes to B2C business model, usually high potential is observed for this B2C business model where businesses are linked to the customers and this trend is increasing, is on rise. Customers have the options to make a choice of products which are displayed or available on the website and place an order for them. Here, there are even the payment options provided to the customers, where the customers can use these banking channels or payment on delivery options. Now, here the companies can think of having the option of direct selling, where the company itself has its own web store or website, and the customers can directly link to the companies and get the products at their doorsteps, or a marketplace model, which refers to an intermediary website where several sellers list their products. The businesses use the marketplace instead of having their own website. Now here the customers get many options or choices for the selections to be made, and based upon individual preference, the pricing, they place the order and get the goods. Now here the e-commerce site verifies the businesses who intend to be listed and advertises their offering on the website. These e-commerce sites, they receive the commissions from these manufacturers or from these business owners for displaying or advertising the goods on their common web portal. Now, C2C business model. A website also follows customer to customer business model, which helps the consumers to sell their assets by publishing their information on the website. Now, here the website may charge the consumers, or it's also available for free. Another customer or consumer may buy the product by just having a glance at the post or the advertisement given on the website. Now here the consumers approach many websites for a particular need. Now here we can think of the options like OLX, where it connects the customer to customer for selling of the goods. Now today, even social media networking like Facebook is one of the means to connect to the customers. And through Facebook marketing, the people are in businesses, and they find the customers through this social media websites. Day by day, reach of this social media marketing is also rising, and through this, people also feel that such type of marketing is more reliable, as there are certain reviews on the websites, or through the word of mouth publicity, these businesses reach the customers. The next model is government to customers business model, where the government uses their websites to reach to the general masses or the citizens. The websites provides many services like today, if we want to have the registration for the birth, marriages, the certificates, the documents like Aadhaar or PAN card, or just uh, filling the income tax returns. So all these are made much more easier for the customers through the introduction of e-commerce in their day-to-day operations. Here, the basic reason why the government has introduced it because it reduces the average time of the employees in these organizations as well as the customers. There is no need for the people to visit the offices and wait in the long queues. Government to government models is the electronic sharing of data or information between the government offices or departments. Now, here also to improve the communication, to have better data access, and basically the faster sharing with less time is the motive. When the information exchange of information or services takes place within the government system, it is known as the G2G communication. Now, C2G model. This model indicates the transaction between the government and the consumers, where consumer provides any services or feedback that adds value to the government administration or authorities. Now, it is the e-commerce platform which helps to connect the general masses or citizens to the government. Now, here if we take an example of a paying of the electricity bill by the government website or any other bill. So, or if the customer wants to seek any information, in that case, customer gets directly linked or connected to the government offices. Now, the next part is sustainability. Sustainability is the responsibility of the organizations, those who are involved in the businesses. Sustainability from the point of view of safeguarding the environment or the planet, as well as uh, looking out for a competitive advantage in the cutthroat era of cutthroat competition, where there are more competitors and a business would like to differentiate itself or place itself aloof from others, then sustainability is one of the uh, factors or one of the key feature which the companies think of inculcating in their businesses. The increasing importance of economic power is making the businesses imperative to show greater responsibility for sustainability towards the people, towards the planet. The sustainability is more wider. Now, coming to the corporate sustainability, it implies the challenge to simultaneously improve social and human welfare while reducing the ecological impact of organization and ensuring the effective achievement of organizational objectives. Now, here, corporate sustainability is stated as a meeting the needs of the firm's direct and indirect stakeholders, like shareholders, employees, clients, communities, without compromising its ability to meet the needs of future stakeholders as well. So, in future, for the future generations, many of the things have to be preserved, and with the sense of this responsibility, when the companies think of offering the products to the customers, to the masses, it is the concept of sustainability. Now, here, when the company thinks of sustainability, there is a trade-off between the uh, profit maximization. If the company thinks of short-term objectives in terms of profit maximization, it cannot think much about the sustainability aspect. Organizations that aim at profit maximization apply strategic management, which is considered as a process to enable them to achieve their objectives of attaining higher profitability. And when the company takes the viewpoint of long-term sustainability, the organizations aims at optimizing profit where they do not cause harm to the ecology or the natural environment, and and think about the future generations to come. Now, when the trade-off between the sustainability and the profit comes into picture, it is known as the sustainable strategic management. So here it is expected the company should derive the profits, but not at the cost of ecology or environment. It should also consider these factors for the sustainable growth in future. Today, maybe the government, because of the environmentalists, the government is imposing many regulations on the manufacturers to safeguard the environment, and to adhere to these norms of the government, the companies are thinking about various options of sustainable product development. Many of the largest and more profitable organizations like Bharat Petroleum, Shell, Ford, Toyota, they have adopted the sustainability as the basis for strategic management in their organizations. Now, basically, the strategic management is seen as a process where the organization tries to achieve the strategic intent, which includes economic and financial aspects in nature. Thus, the profitability for the companies, which is based on the marking of competitive advantage that is sustainable over a long period, which is the major objective of the organizations. The market sustainability deals with being profitable and continually to remain profitable under different market conditions. The environmental sustainability, which deals with the on organization being successful over long term, and also pays attention to preserving the conservation of the, or preserving or conserving the natural environment, are able to compete and stay for more time in the market. Now, the strategies and the related processes which are associated with the continuity of superior performance, broadly defined from market and environmental perspectives. The basic idea of consideration of market and environmental approach is the central basis for sustainable strategic management. An organization that achieves environmental sustainability is able to stay for a longer time in the market. Now, a sustainable corporate strategy is the one which tries to integrate the principles of sustainability into its core business strategy of the organization. Now, here the companies have to have a broader perspective. It cannot think of short term here when it comes to sustainable means of developing solutions. Now it depends upon the chief executive officers or the managers who play a important role and carry a tremendous responsibility to succeed through sustainable solutions, offering the sustainable solutions. Now, by integrating the sustainability into the process of strategic management, the businesses aim to achieve success. So here, the vision, mission, and objectives of the organization, they should be able to reflect the commitment to the sustainability. Environmental appraisal should be extended to cover the natural environment here. So today corporates are giving more weightage to this sustainable aspects of business and try to build upon more, try to build more identity or penetrate into the market by focusing on this social aspect of the businesses. Now here sustainability focuses to meet needs of today without blowing the future generations chances to meet their needs tomorrow. Its effects are also on the environment and on the society. Here the basic objectives of the organizations would be to cut the emissions, to prevent the pollution, use more renewable sources or sustainable materials, use more green certified products. Now coming to the last part of over here. That is the triple bottom line. Now, balancing of different objectives of profitability, also sustainability, it is done through adoption of principles of triple bottom line. Now, these principles underlie the philosophy that organization's responsibility is towards all its stakeholders, not only shareholders, but all the stakeholders like the business partners, the employees, the people, the government, etc. This term, the triple bottom line, was coined in 1998 by John Ellington, which rests on the three pillars of people, planet, and profit. Now, here, when people is referred, The social sustainability under which the aims of an organization are to adopt fair and beneficial policies towards all the people who come under its sphere of influence, maybe communities, maybe masses, the customers, the employees, all of them they are referred to as a people. By planet is meant the natural environment in which we live, we exist, and it includes the earth, water, air, planets, animals. An organization should adopt sustainable environmental practices which do not harm the natural environment. It does this by several actions like reducing its consumption of non-renewable natural resources, reducing the wastage created by its operation, or bearing cost of environmental protection. By profit is the means to achieve economic objectives of the organization. Now, here by balancing these three aspects of people, planet, and profit, the organization should design the strategies. Now, many a times this idea of triple bottom is also expressed as three E's of environment, equity, and economics. Now, the Ministry of Corporate Affairs of the Government of India, it came out with the National Voluntary Guidelines for Social, Environmental, and Economic Responsibilities of Businesses, which suggest a model business reporting framework. Now, from this aspect of triple bottom line, there are three types of capital like social, natural, and economic. Social capital is the outcome of stability in society which arises when there is safety and security for people. Now, social capital also means it consists of human capital with reference to skill and expertise of employees, their motivations, their commitment. So the organizations they contribute to social capital by paying taxes to the government and performing various beneficial activities. Natural capital is the availability of fresh air, clean water, stable climate, renewable energy sources, and sustainable ecosystems, which will help the economy survive and prosper, make it more prosperous. The economic capital is the most commonly understood form of capital as it is expressed in terms of money. Usually, the businesses are built upon this one framework of economic capital. So the organizations they assume the responsibility for creating economic capital by operating profitability, by rewarding the stakeholders, and at the same time creating surplus to investment into the future growth of expansion. So all the three aspects are looked upon by the businesses. Now here if we consider the PepsiCo company, it banks upon the three aspects of human sustainability. That is, the brand promotes healthy food and drinks, talent sustainability, that the brand works to attract top talents and create a diverse company culture. And when it comes to environmental sustainability, it works in minimizing and protecting the natural resources. Similarly, Nike, the sports brand, understands its environmental impact, minimizing the brand's footprints. They work with like-minded suppliers, take part in climate change summits, promote a circular economy, and build a global community of responsible people in creating a more sustainable future. So here it depends upon the company in which form they would like to uh, inculcate the environmental aspects in their working style of business. So this is about the sustainability part. Now, any doubts here? And because of this, many innovative practices are also being adopted by the businesses. The introduction of the Tetra packs or the electric vehicles is the outcome of inculcating this factor of sustainability in the businesses. So the businesses or the organizations which think about the futuristic aspects, they will survive. Any doubts here? Today we will stop here. Thank you.